Hello and welcome to the Samuilova Krepost. We are in the Struminica Valley, not far from the border with Greece and North Macedonia in southwestern Bulgaria. This is a beautiful park with ancient trees casting a welcome shade in this warm day over the lively waters of the Struminica River. But this is not just a beautiful park, it is also an important place in the history of the First Bulgarian Empire and Tsar Samuil. This site was part of the line of fortifications Samuil built to defend the Bulgarian Empire from the Byzantine Empire. Tsar Samuil chose this area to build his fortifications because it overlooked the most likely route an approaching Byzantine army would use. And the famous battle that happened in this area was the Battle of Kleidion. The history books tell of the terrible Battle of Kleidion of 1014 and the victorious Byzantine Emperor Basil II ordering the blinding of 15,000 Bulgarian soldiers, and how Tsar Samuil, at the sight of his blinded warriors, had a heart attack and died, marking the end of the First Bulgarian Empire. And I could leave it at that, and you will be none the wiser probably, but there are a few small problems with this version of events. Samuil was Tsar of the First Bulgarian Empire from 997 to 1014. By all accounts, he was an extraordinary man, a skilled warrior, a strategist and a politician. Samuil perfected the traditional fighting tactics of the Bulgarian army, surprise attacks, ambushes, and cutting off all supplies to strongholds, and let hunger and thirst do the job for him. All lured the defenders away from their fortresses and ambushed them. This suggests that Samuil had an agile army at his command, but not a huge one. Samuil was often on the battlefield and came close to death or capture a number of times, including during the Battle of Kleidion in 1014. The battleground is near the village of Cluj, around 2 to 3 kilometers from here as the crow flies. Samuil was 56 years old at the time of the battle. The Bulgarian army is defeated. With his son Gavril Radomir's help, Samuil evades capture. Gavril takes his father to the city of Pilat. From there, Samuil returns to his capital Prespa in North Macedonia. Meanwhile, Gavril Radomir goes to Strumica and defeats the advancing Byzantine army. The question remains if Basil II had disabled 15,000 Bulgarian soldiers, with what men did Gavril crush the Byzantine army led by Basil's top general. By Middle Ages standard, 15,000 men is a huge army. Even if we assume that Samuil's army was huge, if he had lost 15,000 men in the Battle of Kleidion, this would have crippled the Bulgarian army at least for some time. However, Gavril Radomir is victorious at Strumica. And I might add that from a practical point of view, blinding 15,000 men takes time and effort. After his father's death, Gavril Radomir leads the Bulgarian Empire and defeats the Byzantines in a number of battles. But Gavril is assassinated by his cousin Ivan Vladislav in 1015. Ivan takes the crown and the fighting continues, but he is killed during the siege of Dyrrhachium, present-day Durrës in Albania, in early 1018. There is a power vacuum at the top. Basil II begins to negotiate peace treaties with the Bulgarian boyars. He offers them very good terms. The boyars keep their lands and titles. They are also offered lands in the east and friendly taxation, not the terms that a victorious Basil II, slayer of the Bulgarians, would have felt the need to offer to a defeated and devastated enemy. The statue of Tsar Samuil stands tall in the landscape. He is depicted as a Christian emperor, pretty much in the Byzantine fashion, but the Byzantines always called him Samuil the Usurper. This was a practical choice. Byzantium was the main power in the region, and if a ruler was recognized as emperor by Constantinople, this gave the ruler legitimacy, not just abroad but also at home. Samuil had not inherited the crown. He had taken it by skill, strength and determination. So, why the story of the crushing defeat of Kleidion and the end of the Bulgarian Empire? Well, the historical sources for the event come from Constantinople and the archives in Mount Athos. To paraphrase Durkheim, the victor gets to write down the story. And in later years, Basil II cultivates his reputation as a ruthless general, slayer of the Bulgarians. This reputation served him very well when negotiating alliances and treaties with local lords on the edges of the Byzantine Empire. This is an example of soldiers' huts that were built along with a defensive line. The long version of this script is available on Substack with a list of the sources I've used, links below. Thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, it would be wonderful. I publish these videos in English on Tuesdays, Italian on Wednesdays and Bulgarian on Thursdays. Thank you for watching, have a lovely day, bye bye!